Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. So today is going to be our final day before we break up for Ramadan. We'll start off inshallah after Ramadan. We'll start off, I'll give you the date inshallah at the end of it. We'll do a few more weeks before we break for August again. So this is going to be about Ramadan, and I gave you a few things last week. Hopefully you've been doing that. Has anyone took any advice from last week? Yes? Put your hands up. Has anyone done anything from now? Very good, mashallah. So the palms have been ended, and the chais and the rest of the other things that we probably are up to. Okay, so we need action. Okay, if you're looking for knowledge, there's a lot of knowledge available. If you want action, then that's what's missing in this ummah, right? So what is Ramadan? Ramadan is a spiritual month, and it's also a way of making ourselves come closer to Allah Azza wa Jalla with taqwa. So the main word here that we want to build on is this word taqwa, because that is central to everything. Okay, taqwa. So taqwa is an internal defense mechanism against sins. That is so, the bar needs to be so high. Okay, so let's say we start off with the bar. So if this is a bar, and you know that is 0 here, that is 100 here. What it is that people will have taqwa level going up and down throughout the year. It goes up and down. So whatever taqwa is at, we need to start pushing that taqwa up, right? The level of taqwa up. The higher the taqwa is going to be at, the more you will have this instant power of saving yourself from sinning. It's just natural. The more you will have an instant sort of internal power of making yourselves it will be so easy to walk away from sin. So easy to not even go near sin. So easy to not be, absent-minded of Allah, of the Akhirah. So easy to say, you know what, I want to do this. This is all taqwa. Taqwa does this to a person. Now, to get that taqwa level up, it's an internal thing of the mind, right? We need to work on the mind. Now, in working on the mind, what we do is we need to start making ourselves aware of things, and that's the whole thing about Ramadan. We need to get in the month of Ramadan, and we need to make ourselves aware. Now, how we make ourselves aware is when we're eating, when we're drinking. What eating and drinking does is it kind of makes you, it makes you less aware. Put it this way, right? People know this. When you haven't eaten and you drive with an empty stomach, you are more aware than when you have eaten and you drive. If you've just eaten and you slouch on the sofa, you're more likely to become drowsy and to drop off. If you haven't eaten, you're alert. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he memorized a lot of hadith because he was hungry a lot of the times. Okay, so being hungry is a state of alertness. Though you've got to feed your stomach. So this mind, it will become a lot more alert when there is no food. Okay, so food and drink. Okay, we're going to try and create this type of alertness. There's a lot of things that are going to happen here. So one is no to food, no to drink, and there's going to be alertness. Now don't forget, if you fill yourself up so badly in the night that you're overloaded, and then the rest of the day you're burning it back off to normal size or normal sort of in amounts, then you haven't got that alertness throughout Ramadan. Unfortunately, some people see Ramadan as a sleeping month. It's very unfortunate. Some people say, you know what, I'm just going to sleep till iftar. It's like I think it's kind of it's a wrong type of mentality for fasting. Some people think that if I don't eat in the night a lot, then I'm going to get hungry. You know this thing in the mind that says I am going to get hungry unless I eat this much and so on. well, you are going to get hungry if you don't eat that much. That's what the mind will do to you. If you say, I'm completely fine, if you train yourself to say, I'm completely fine, I will be fine, you know what? You're going to be fine. Because the mind can actually play with you. You know, we should honestly change the size of the plate that we eat from at times, just to fool the mind and to see that we get you know, full. Anyway, no food, no drink means that there's going to be alertness, the mind is going to be alert. Now, what do you do when we're alert? What is happening when we're alert? What's happening is the body gets weak, okay? The physical body gets weak, and the spiritual body gets its alertness, its awakening, and it gets a chance to really focus on what it's there for, right? So let me tell you a moment that we know that this becomes very easy for the mind to do. If we knew for certain, right now I'm going to die, then there's no way I'm going to be bothered about what's around me. We all know this. There's no way that I'm going to be bothered about either money or expenses or bills or people or friends or social media or whatever. There's no way I'll be thinking of that. Now, what happened there is that I was almost like, I'm almost thinking that yes, I am going to die. And see, what happens is that the ruh now just sees its world. That's the soul. The soul sees its world. The body no longer sees its world. This is what happens. When you face death, when you think that I'm about to die, the ruh, the spirit, the soul sees its world. That, oh my God, I'm about to die? Well, what have I prepared for it? Am I ready for it? Am I ready for this journey? So this kind of alertness is needed in the fasting month. If Muslims could understand this, that this is the part of it. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has even given us the remedy for a lot of sins and things that drive us away from Allah Azza wa Jal. He said, "Akthiru min dhikri hadim al-ladat." He said, increase the amount of times you remember the breaker of desires. They inquired, what is the breaker of desires? And he said, increase the amount of times you remember that. And he said, it's maut, it's death. Okay? So one of the first things you can do is to think that I am not going to live for long. This is a training of the mind that needs to be put in there. The longer you feel you will live, or the longer I feel I will live, the harder the heart becomes. This is from the Quran. This is straight from the Quran. Allah has said, فَطَالَ عَلَيْهِمُ الْأَمَدُ فَقَسَتْ قُلُوبُهُم. So Allah explained about the people before us. They were the Ahlul Kitab, or the people of the book. He said they had, in their minds, they believed their lives are going to be long ahead of them. Their lives are going to be, many, many years in this world. And therefore, their hearts went hard. Okay? So the two things are connected. You think you're going to live for a long time, well, then your body will then get into a mode where it feels like, I'm here for the now. I'm here, I should enjoy this moment. Do you see what happens? It's like, look, let me do this again for you. If I think I'm going to die right now, the body ceases to think about the world. And the soul now is fully prepared to think about the next life. If I do the opposite, so what I do is that I think, you know what? Yeah, this is my life. I'm going to enjoy myself here. I'm going to live long here. The body has connected with the world and all my surroundings and everything that's going to happen here. And the soul is now enclosed inside and it's not connected to the afterworld, which is its real world. Okay? So that's the switch that we need to find. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why did he make himself, why did he find it easy to cry? Because he led a life where his soul was always thinking about the afterworld. So it didn't allow his body to become something really, really relaxed and really wanting to spend a very joyful and a life of enjoyment in this world. So once we find that switch that we can always make the ruh and the soul feel that I'm about to go from this world, it changes dynamics. It makes the body feel weak and it makes the soul feel stronger towards its destination. And that's one of the massive things about Ramadan. Okay? It's a mind preparation. So what happens is, when we're not eating, when we're not drinking, when we're not enjoying the worldly sort of goods, what we're doing is we're actually waking up the spirit inside. We're waking up the soul inside, and we're trying to tell you to focus on your life. Now, we've got extra time, obviously, when we don't have any food and drink, okay? When there's no food and drink, there's extra time. So these are the things, the benefits that we will get. Okay, we've got extra time. The question is, with this extra time, what do we do? Okay, what are we doing with the extra time, and how wisely are we using it? I'm going to come to a list of things that, inshallah, we can start focusing on in terms of the extra time that we've got. But think of it, what happens. So my mind opens up. I think that I'm going to connect up with my akhirah, my real home. My body now is not interested in eating or drinking. That should be out the question. Okay, people spoil it. There should be no thought about, okay, if that, some people are like crazy, okay, it's going to be 8:53. 8:53. When's 8:53 going to come? The more you look at the clock, the longer the day becomes. Okay? If you want time to, when do people think that time flies? People think time flies because they never actually looked at the clock. When you're in a party and they say time flies, what happened is during the whole party, you barely looked at the clock or your watch. So therefore you felt that time went so quick. When you're in prison and you're sitting there, and you're looking at the time and saying, how many more days have I got to get out? That time could be very, very, very slow because you're focusing entirely on the time. The thing that's supposed to happen in Ramadan is take your mind off iftar. Put your mind on other things. What am I supposed to do? And a timetable needs to be drawn to make this whole bar go up, okay, of taqwa, go up, okay? And what I said about the mind is, what am I focusing on? So first things first, I'm focusing on my real home. My real home is Jannah. My real home is the Akhirah. My real family, okay, are the people who are the people that will be with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, okay, that are going to be with the Sahaba, the Anbiya, and so on. That's my real family. Let's focus on that first, okay? My destination is, as soon as I die, I want to be in Illiyin, and all my other family members that have passed away, inshallah, the good ones, they will all be there, and I want to be in the highest abode of Illiyin. That's my target. My target is, on the Day of Judgment, I want to come up and I want to find myself next to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Anbiya. My target is, I want to have an easy account with Allah, and my target is, I want to rest in Jannah, and I want to stay away from Jahannam. Okay, that's my target, that's the focus. Now, bring that inside the mind, starting with death, that I am going to die. I am going to die one day. What that does is, it makes the body feel, weak in this world, detached from this world. It makes the ruh want to connect it with Allah Azza wa Jal. Then what we do is, we have a number of things to make ourselves revive our soul and make ourselves connect with Allah Azza wa Jal. Namely, it is just thinking about Allah. Okay? Now I'm going to talk about this right now, and I'm going to tell you that the thinking of Allah Azza wa Jal moves in different phases, okay? Thinking of Allah. Okay. Now, thinking of Allah, number one, most people, when they think of Allah, they're going to be scared. Right? Most people, when they think of Allah, they're like, ooh. Why are you scared? Why am I scared? Why would you be scared? Why would you be scared of a being or an individual? Why would you be scared? Anyone answer?
So you're going to be accountable, so you're worried about your accountability.
Yes, but why would you be worried? Why the worry?
If you've done something wrong, sin.
That's right, that's right. If I've messed up and I've done something wrong, then I'm going to be scared of thinking of Allah. So, here's how not to be scared. If you're scared, because most people are really scared. They're like, wow, I'm going to check out the thing of Allah. No. Okay, it's really scary because it's like, I'm going to go in front of Allah. Allah's going to ask me, why did you do that? And it's like, oh, I can't face the punishment. So what do? You seek forgiveness. Okay? You seek forgiveness. This is now key to getting yourself to feel comfortable. You seek forgiveness again and 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 again so many times is astaghfirullah alladhi la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilayh. Now, what it is look, again, things I've said before, but I'm going to bring it together here now. If you put a tune to your istighfar, if you say astaghfirullah alladhi la ilaha illa hu al-hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilayh ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. So what you're doing is that you're enjoying the moment of actually singing to Allah your forgiveness that you want from Him, or as a beggar, you're putting a tune to it so that you can just, yearn to Him and just carry on saying, Astaghfirullah alladhi la ilaha illa hu al-hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilayh. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. So you carry on saying, please forgive me. Please. Now, if you think that the Arabic doesn't really connect you up, then you've got to start, it's really good to say it in English, in Urdu, in Punjabi, in Bengali, in whatever language, because mother language, makes you feel that you're corrected. So you seek forgiveness. Once you seek forgiveness, you move on to the next level. The next level is that when you're thinking of Allah Azza wa Jal, okay, you're now kind of okay. Okay, this is in the middle. So what you now do is, as you feel okay, you should now increase in saying, you can do this over here, you can do this down here. What you do is you now say beautiful words to Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay, beautiful words. So beautiful phrases, beautiful words. Okay, this is tasbihat. Okay, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah al-azim, or subhanallah wa bihamdihi on its own. There are several ways of praising Allah Azza wa Jal. And you just carry on praising Allah. And carry on praising, say, subhanallah means, Allah, you're so perfect. You are absolutely perfect. I adore you, I admire you. That's all subhanallah. Okay, I glorify you, I adore you, I admire you. Alhamdulillah, everything that I've ever got, it's all from you, and you deserve the praise for it. That's alhamdulillah. La ilaha illallah, there is no one that is God worthy of worship or anything except for you. You are Allah, you're the one. So these are parts of praises that you carry on praising Allah. You add to that, Allah Akbar, you're the greatest. Then you send salawat on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Send your salutations and send your blessings and praises on Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And you carry on doing that. Again, what I'm saying to you is that if you put a tune to it, you will enjoy it. If you just sit there and say, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa sallallahu ala sayyidina wa ala Muhammad wa ala ali sallallahu ala sayyidina wa ala Muhammad wa ala sallallahu ala sayyidina wa ala Muhammad wa ala sallallahu ala sayyidina wa ala Muhammad. Either you're going to feel drowsy, sleepy, not enjoying this, but if you put a tune to it, Sallallahu ala Sayyidina wa Mawlana Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa sallam. If you kind of singing a tune, you enjoy that, and you kind of sing it to Allah. So what you're doing is you're just praising Him. You're praising Him. You're praising His. You're praising all the things that He's given you, and these beautiful words take you to the next level. The next level, number 3, is now you actually like to think of Allah. So from scared to okay to liking to think about Allah, because now really you're not sinning. See, if you carry on sinning while you do all this process, then you're still going to go back to number 1, which is you're scared. You don't want to think about Allah, or you don't want to do it because you know you're doing something wrong. So Ramadan gives a massive opportunity to all the believers to, whoever you are, if you've messed up, this is the month where training, and I'm going to move from being scared of thinking of Allah to okay to thinking of Allah to liking to think of Allah, and then you carry on. Okay, you carry on praising Allah, and what happens is there's now nur and light that's given to you, right? When you start liking to think about Allah, what happens is Allah actually likes to think about you. Because the hadith says, إِذَا أَحَبَّ الْعَبْدُ لِقَاءَهُ or liqa Allah, ahabba Allahu liqa'ah. When the servant loves to meet Allah, then Allah loves to meet the servant. When you feel a genuine love for Allah, When you think of Allah, you feel a genuine love, as in a love of, you know what, a love of wanting to think of Allah, not this wrong sense of love, like, I'll sin and I'll carry on thinking this all okay. No, you've got the right belief that, if you sin, then you've messed up, you need to seek forgiveness from Allah. You're not sinning, you're thinking of Allah, you're actually liking to think of Allah Azza wa Jal. That actually means Allah Azza wa Jal likes you too. And it's in various ahadith. Now what you do, you carry on repeating whatever you're going to repeat, and you come to the fourth stage. The more things you say to Allah Azza wa Jal, the more you make connection with Him, the more you like Him, the more you yearn from Him. Now what happens then is, you move from like to actually loving to think about Allah. You're in a state of loving, the remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay? And then the fifth one is yearning. Okay? You go to the yearning of Allah Azza wa Jal. You now yearn to be in the presence of Allah, in the remembrance of Allah, wanting to actually get to the akhirah one day, get to see all the good things in the akhirah. That's now yearning. See how you move from scared to okay, to like, to love, to yearn. Okay, it's a whole thing. That the more purity is done, when you get to this third stage, what Allah Azza wa Jalla is doing is He's giving you nur, He's giving you light. He's given us light. The light enters the heart. It brings a lot of malaika, a lot of angels to us. It gives us barakah, gives us blessings. Allah Azza wa Jal then will send, the more we remember Allah, the more Allah remembers us, because the Quran says, فَاذْكُرُونِي أَذْكُرْكُمْ, you remember me, I will remember you. And what happens is hidayah and guidance is provided. So what happens now is that my heart starts to get inclined towards the good things. My heart wants to do those things that Allah said. Naturally, it just happens so naturally, because the Quran has said, وَيَهْدِي إِلَيْهِ مَنْ يُنِيبُ. Whoever turns to Allah, Allah guides them. This is in the Quran, in Surah Shura. So now that you went through a process of wanting to, you turn to Him. See, all this process here is to turn to Allah. Since you turn to Allah, Allah then gives guidance. Guidance means now I want to actually do these things. I want to do ibadah. I want to worship Allah. I want to be good. I want to follow whatever instructions there are. And people go through this phase when they actually start to become practicing. The downside, if you don't watch out, is you become complacent, and slowly you go all the way back to stage number one, because you just started to indulge in the world and whatever it was. The good side of it is that once you're there, if you keep it going, inshallah, things should work well for you. Now, what has happened now is, you see, in Ramadan, we're having a chance for 30 days. Doesn't matter who we are, doesn't matter how we messed up, doesn't matter what we did. This is the month, because extra boosts are going to be given. So this is where now Allah makes it easier, because He's closed the doors of Jahannam. It's in Hadith. He's opened the doors of Jannah. He's locked the shayateen up. So when Allah locks the shaitans up, it doesn't mean every single devil. It means all the worst of the devils. So the Hadith says about maradatu shayatin, which means that they are the most rebellious of the jinn devils. Allah Azza wa Jal then locks them up. So they're not even around. So that's why you actually see a lot of Muslims being better in Ramadan than outside Ramadan comparatively. Why? Because the big devils are locked up. You actually see the moment of the release. Have you seen the moment of the release? Eid day! Right? That's the moment of the release. You can see from the night before Eid, okay? As soon as Maghrib comes on the last day of Ramadan, you can almost see that people, they forget about Salah, forget about this, and next morning they're all thinking about enjoying themselves, going exactly back to normal again. It's almost like a sign that people can't see, they can't read. But anyway, it's our chance to change ourselves, to do something in Ramadan. And what we're going to do is, when I'm going through this process, what's happening is this meter is going up. So I'm more and more aware of Allah. The more aware of Allah I become, the more in my real life, when an opportunity of sin comes, I've got an internal defense mechanism. It just shuts it off. Okay? There are many processes of this. So, for example, if somebody was to, if the taqwa is really high, if you come near zina, or if you come near, let's say, a temptation, or if you come near something that would normally, grab you and just pull you down, you find that you can resist it, and not only resist it, you can block yourself off it. The higher the taqwa, the greater the resistance from that. And it means that we want to be in a situation when no one else is watching us. This is the key of this, okay? So normally what people will do is that people don't sin in front of others. Okay? We know this. You know, it's embarrassing to sin in front of others. Unless you've really gone, like, you know, you really messed up. But normally people will not want to sin in front of others. But the key thing is, when no other human being is watching me, and I've got no record of being caught with this, will I still stay away from the sin? If yes, then it's a sign of high taqwa. If it's a no, then it's a sign that there is a low taqwa. What happens is there's two levels. One is to stop sinning in front of people. That is one level. That is still good because there's haya there. There's naturally, there's an embarrassment there. I don't want to feel guilty in front of people. I don't want to feel embarrassed in front of people when they look at me and they think, you know, what are you doing? So that's one level. That's good. That's still good. Look, don't you know, give that up. But the next level is to get into situations like it could naturally happen. I'm somewhere where nobody else is watching me except my Allah. And if at that moment the remembrance that Allah is watching me, and let's go back a few steps back what I said, which is that the ruh or the soul has opened up to the akhirah, to death, to the reality of death in such a way that there's no way I can sin. Now, let me give you another scenario. If at this moment, tell me this with absolute honesty, if at this moment I saw in the distance that angel of death is walking this way, okay, whether it's coming for me or one of you, I'm not trying to jinx you guys, whether it comes from me or one of you. If at this moment I saw angel of death walking towards this direction, do you think I'd be interested in anything else? Do you think I would sin? There's absolutely no way I would sin. And that's what the Prophet ﷺ was trying to get us to think about, which is anything to do with death and beyond death. As soon as you remember it, which is the akhirah, which is the fire, which is the wrath of Allah, which is facing Allah, facing Judgment Day, facing an account with Allah, that scares the life out of anyone to do any sin. Those thoughts of death, akhirah, barzakh, which is the time between death and, you know, day of judgment, the day of judgment itself, hisab, judgment, okay, and then jahannam, those things, or the wrath of Allah, the anger of Allah, thinking of those things will make anybody not sin. And that's exactly what taqwa is. Taqwa means that you've got a protection. So you're protected by a shield or by a way of making yourself not sin, because you've got this mindset that you've built. Where did your mindset come? Your mindset came from here, okay? Because you've thought about Allah, thought about the akhirah, thought about all of this, so much so that now your taqwa level of thinking about all of this goes high, and it means that your mind's ready to say, no, I'm not going to do this. This is the whole thing of Ramadan. See, extra things are happening. Like I said to you, the doors of Jahannam are closed, the great devils are locked up, and then Ramadan actually means it's a burning sand. So what happens is, as soon as you're in Ramadan, it's burning your sins just while we're fasting. Why is it burning our sins while we're fasting? Because, subhanAllah, there's another beautiful thing here. When I've said the shahada, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh, when I've said that, it's for a few seconds. The belief is there, but for me to say the shahada takes what? Takes me 5 seconds, 4 seconds for me to say the shahada. When I'm giving zakah, I'm giving it, and it just takes me seconds, literally, to give my zakah. When I'm in my prayer, now this goes a bit longer. When I'm in my prayer, then my prayer will last for maybe 10 minutes, 12 minutes. So 12 minutes I am in the obedience of Allah. When I go to Hajj, for some, you know, you can do Hajj in like 4 days or 5 days, right? When I'm in Hajj for 4 complete days, for 5 complete days, I am in the obedience of Allah. But there's nothing greater than being in the obedience of Allah for 30 days. Do you see the power of that? See how long I'm so from the morning when I'm fasting, each moment, each second that's going by, each minute that is going by, I'm in the obedience of Allah. And I'm in the obedience of Allah at 8 a.m. in the morning, at 8:03, at 8:26, I'm in obedience of Allah at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. As long as I'm not breaking the general rules of fasting. What are the general rules of fasting? That I'm not disobeying Allah in another way. Like I'm not abusive, I'm not, argumentative, I'm not saying horrible things to people, I'm not, swearing at people, I'm not lying, I'm not backbiting. These are things that really show that, there's no point of fasting because I'm now disobeying Allah and I'm trying to show obedience. No. As long as we're in the state of fasting, the whole day, for 30 complete days, is in the obedience of Allah. So that means that I am in worshiping Allah throughout the entire day. Now what I get from this is, I get Allah's happiness. How is Allah happy? Because I'm doing something which nobody else can, nobody else can actually observe except for Allah. So let me say what it is. If I was to do my, if I ask somebody, I'll say, have you done, let's say, your salah? Okay, have you done your salah? And they say, yes, I've done my salah. Okay. For me to say, yes, they've done their salah, I haven't seen them. Maybe nobody else seen them, but it's a word of mouth. Okay, fine, he just said it, and I have to trust it. When I ask someone, have you fasted? How will anyone know? How will anyone observe if they're fasted? Like salah, if I want you to see if the person is praying salah, I'll go up to him and I'll go up to the right time and I'll see that, he's actually praying salah. That's an observation I can make. And I can actually sit there for the full salah and see that the full salah has been done. And I can certify that that salah was done. But for fasting, you can't. There's no human being that can watch anybody fasting from dawn all the way till dusk. Nobody can do that. Because you could go in the toilet and you could go scrumptious. You could hide somewhere. You could even go, lock yourself up somewhere and you could eat. But you didn't do it. And that's the thing that proved to Allah that you did it only for who? Only for Allah. And Allah then saw that. So the hadith of Bukhari says, the fasting was for me and there is no reward that my servant will get except my servant will get the reward of having me as his reward. Because my servant fasted for me, and I will be the reward for my servant. And I will be the one that will give my servant something, basically, that he will be pleased with. And there's two moments that my servant's going to be pleased with me. One is the time when I give him or her permission to eat or drink at the time of iftar. And the second one is going to be the time when my servant meets me. This is a hadith in Bukhari. Okay? One, farhatan, there's two wonderful, joyful times. One is at the time of iftar, because we're happy we can eat again and drink again. And the other one is at the time when we meet Allah Azza wa Jal. And Allah Azza wa Jal, He does things to us that we don't even realize. He does things that we don't even realize. So during the whole fasting day, okay, Allah Azza wa Jal is so happy that others might smell my breath during the fasting hours because it's all getting dry and I haven't really washed it and I can't really, brush my teeth with this and that. And what happens is people might not like my breath, but Allah Azza wa Jal finds my breath to be the fragrance of musk, according to Hadith al-Bukhari. And so there's there's genuine love for the fasting person. Now, what am I supposed to do during my whole fast? So we've got the mechanism of fasting, we know what's happening, okay? So what am I supposed to do now? Before I get to the points that we're supposed to do for within our extra time, I just want to say, last week I did mention about healthy foods, okay? So please, in your diet, include healthy foods. And healthy foods, guys, should be throughout the year, whatever we can, we have healthy foods. In fact, the amount we have and the quality we have, both of them come to healthy foods. And believe it or not, some people will probably go crazy if they couldn't eat meat. If you ban meat, people get so scared and say, oh my God, they might ban halal. I'm thinking, lol. What's happening to you? Why is it happening to people that get so scared? I mean, I don't want halal to be banned. okay, slaughtering and so on. I don't want that to be banned. But why is this such a big, big deal? The question is, could I live without meat for months, for years?
Yes.
I know you can. No, is that how you died? You can. But you know what? We can. Fish is an option, guys. People are not, you know. Fish is an option. Fish is an option. Vegetables is an option, right? And you got lovely, lovely things that you can make for yourself that doesn't have to necessarily be meat. But sometimes we're traveling and so on, and people are scratching their heads, what are we going to eat? What's halal? I'm thinking, man, it's just simple. It's fish and vegetables. You can just get on with that and you can be fine. Seriously, people, this is us, we've got an obsession, and what we need to do is we need to cut down. Yes, we need to cut down. But what I would like to say is cut down slowly. Don't cut down all of a sudden. If you sort of go to someone's house and somebody goes back and says, you know what, we're going to just change everything overnight, it's not going to work. People will rebel. You just need to do it slowly, slowly. And if it's done over time, people can get used to it. People can get used to a healthy diet. Now, apart from the healthy diet and the healthy amounts that we have during Ramadan, what the whole day should also be about is not to waste time. Wasting time is a real losing game when it comes to trying to fill trying to fill our way of making a spiritual Ramadan. So habits, for example, I need to say to myself, this is the time when the last time I'm going to look at my phone. Last time I'm going to look at my phone. Now, some people can do this in Ramadan. If you want to say that 30 days, I'm not going to watch any TV. I'm not going to watch any films. I'm not going to watch any, whatever else it is. It doesn't have to be TV or films. These days, people find their time, they can just flick through Facebook videos and YouTube videos, and the amount of Facebook or YouTube videos they've seen is more than a film. Okay, but they claim they never watched a film, they never watched anything else, they never did anything else. I'm thinking, oh my God, you just spent about 3 hours on that. I'm sure the film would be a lot less than that. So wasting time is a thing that we need to stop. So there needs to be a timetable of when I'm going to open the phone, when I'm going to not open the phone, and so on. Other simple things that we can do during the entire day is, think about this. Whenever you are doing something, if you move around, you will find that you can prolong doing that thing. If you stay static in one place and the blood flow is getting slow in the body, or just getting to a normal sort of thing, and you're sitting down, then what could happen is you could easily start feeling drowsy. So the key thing is to make myself do different things throughout the day to make me connect with Allah Azza wa Jal. And so of all the ibadah that I've got, don't try and think, okay, I'm just going to do, not all people are ready for this. Not all people are ready for 1 hour of dhikr, 1 hour of Quran tilawah, 1 hour of nafil salah. You'd probably be, finished. It's better to do a little bit of tilawah, a little bit of recitation of the Quran, then switch. Do some nafil rakats. Maybe 2, maybe 4. And even when you do nafil rakats, don't go for the long shot straight away. Okay? It's to make it, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sunnah was, the first 2 rakats of his qiyamul layl were always lighter than the next few. Because just like exercise, you have to do a warm-up. You do a warm-up and then you get into exercise. So the Prophet ﷺ would do 2 light rakats, and then he would go into salah, and he would do, he would make his other ones longer. So the thing is this: when I'm doing something for my extra time, max 45 minutes, and then take a 15-minute break. That's max, right? If you want, you can drop that down. You can say that I'm going to spend maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes at a time, or even 5 minutes at a time, doing something and always switching. Keep the tongue moving with different things that we're going to say to Allah Azza wa Jal. So I'm going to give you a list of things that you can say. Right? It's going to give us a lot of reward, inshallah. So let's say, for example, Surah Ikhlas. Everybody knows Qul Huwallahu Ahad, okay? Let's just start with something simple. For me to say Qul Huwallahu Ahad, Allahu Samad, Lam Yalid Walam Yulad, Walam Yakul Lahu Kufuwan Ahad, and then repeat that again, repeat it 3 times. That is the equivalent of the full Quran reward. Okay? I'm going to say a number of things, and inshallah you can start thinking, okay, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, straight after that. Let's say, for example, I know, how many people know رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. How many people know that? Good. That's what you say. You can then say, you can repeat that a few times just to be aware of, just try and make your mind aware of the fact that you're asking Allah Azza wa Jalla to give you the best in this world, to give you the best in the next world, and to save you from the fire. You say that a few times. Now, just before again the mind switches off from this, because if you repeat it too many times, your mind's going to get numb to it. So what you do is you switch, and you switch to something else. You now say, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. And you can repeat it now, which is, and try and focus on the meaning as well if you can, that there is no God except for you. You are so perfect, so sublime. Inni kuntu min al-zalimin. I'm the one who's actually messed up and I've done something wrong. Okay? So you say that a few times, or astaghfirullah, seeking forgiveness. Or now, move away from all of that. Come and recite some part of the Quran. Okay? So you're continuously switching. Recite some part of the Quran. Now you can choose whether you want to do each one of these things for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, or you're going to do for half an hour each, or 15 minutes. I don't know what you're going to choose for yourself. But if you're on the move or on the go, okay, let's say for example, you are moving from one place to another, you can carry on repeating this to yourself and you're getting a lot of reward. In fact, whatever you do in Ramadan, you're going to get 70 times more reward than you would get outside Ramadan. That's another bonus that Allah Azza wa Jalla will give. So, any dua, right? Any dua, any part of the Quran, any dhikr, and there are many dhikrs that you can choose from, right? Any salah, or simple contemplation of the akhirah, or thinking of the akhirah. So this one is where I just sit down. It could be 3 minutes, again, it doesn't take long. I just think about how Allah has created things, how wonderfully Allah has created things. Because the Quran has said, يَتَفَكَّرُونَ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. You think about the heavens and the earth, how Allah has created things. Think about the akhirah, and that is a reward in itself. Who can remember the ibadah, specific ibadah I spoke about 2 weeks ago, the Prophet ﷺ used to sometimes do? Here. Doing the sajda of shukr, sajda of thanks. So this is something that Prophet ﷺ would sometimes do. So what you do is, you're not in salah, you can go straight into sajda, and you can stay in sajda, and you can just thank Allah Azza wa Jalla. The beauty about this thing is that this sajda alone, because normally in salah you can't actually speak anything but Arabic. But in sajda on its own for shukr, you can say whichever language you want, and you can talk to Allah Azza wa Jalla. Okay? Now, whatever you do, you need to find your break time. Because sooner or later, you're going to have, if you go over the time that your stamina is, everyone's stamina is different. No one's stamina is the same. So you got to find out, look, if it's a 10 minute of these dhikrs and everything else, then I'd have a 10-minute break or a 15 break. And I'll do another 10 minutes and have another 10-minute break. Either that, or you do 15 minutes of all of this and you take a 15-minute break, or you can take a 10-minute break, you can take a 5-minute break. Now everyone's stamina is different, right? As long as you're moving your body, as long as you're getting up, you're sitting down again, you're doing dua, you're doing some dhikr, you're doing some tasbih, you're doing some salah, you're doing a sajda, you're doing something else, you're repeating different dhikr, so your mind is going to different things. Then again, you open the Quran, you read some Arabic, and then look, another beautiful thing is to just put the Arabic aside, take the English translation of the Quran, open it and just read part of what you read. You don't have to read everything what you read part of it, connect the mind up again, right? Now, what happens then is, this is far more superior, okay, I'm telling you this now, far more superior than you just putting a lecture on or putting something on just to get yourself off, just to get your mind up, just listening to someone. It's far more superior. So what some people do is, their ibadah is the Islamic channels. I'm like, man, you've got nothing else to do. So their ibadah is, they come home, they'll put the TV on, they'll put some Islamic stuff on, okay? Some guy with a hat on, sitting there with a beard, just blabbling on, okay? He's blabbering on, and you're just sitting there, just listening to him, and all you're doing really is that, iftar time is here, iftar time is here. And please, don't fool yourself by breaking the fast with the adhan of the TV. Because the adhan of the TV is for the TV station area. Hello? If you go from North London to East London, guaranteed there's going to be a couple of minutes of difference or a few minutes of a difference of iftar time. You agree or you don't agree? You go from London to Luton, there's going to be a difference. Luton to Northampton, there's going to be a difference. Okay, because sunset is different for all these different regions. The television, hello, is going to give adhan at one time. That one time is not for the whole of UK. And I just can't understand that. When you say to the people, look, don't break your fast, they say, no, but it's the television give the adhan. It's okay, straight up, let's eat. That's your master, okay? Man, thank God, you've got a local timetable, you've got a local masjid, you follow your local masjid and see what time it is and break your fast according to that. Now, hearing someone should only be done when you are tired and you're not going to do any ibadah. Okay, so let's say, for example, I've been doing this 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is, and now I want to rest. So your rest should either become a proper rest, or it should become something which, again, instead of watching something else, you might as well watch a lecture, might as well watch something on YouTube of an Islamic scholar, or whatever, there is out there. It's better that you choose. I would rather you find something in Ramadan to do with motivation. Find a motivational speech to make yourself feel that you want to, again, get back into this stuff. To listen to someone in Ramadan that's talking about this about Islam, that about Islam. Yes, you're seeking knowledge, but it's the lesser of the two ibadahs. You can engage in a motivational thing which will make you do more for Allah's sake, or you can listen to some knowledge which is going to just be like any other knowledge. Why go for the lesser of the two knowledges? Lesser of the two ibadahs. There's two ibadah you can do. One is a lower ibadah, one is a higher ibadah. One will get me closer to Allah, so I should try and listen to something motivational. Okay, now, Islamic book. An Islamic book, these are the times, guys, get the books out, because the readership of people has gone down quite a lot. Seriously, quite a lot. In fact, I was talking to a bookstore recently. He said at one point he was like, selling, let's say 65%, at 65% level. He said now it's gone down below 40, where people are not interested in books. Books, Islamic books, are things that we need, and they should be filled in at the time when we're not going to be engaged in ibadah. Now, get back up again. There should be a timetable for Ramadan. Now this timetable, okay, if I can get down to... Some of this is not the right pen. Let's go for the timetable. You're going to have the whole cycle, okay, from morning till evening. So let's just say, for example, it's going to be early in the morning, so we're going to have to do some kind of, I think, 2 sort of cycles. So what happens is, let's say over here was suhoor. Okay, let's just start with suhoor. Suhoor and then fajr. Fajr is here. So what I'm going to do in between Suhoor and Fajr is, again, I'm going to repeat certain things. A lot of reward in this. La ilaha illallah, 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 subhanallah, 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 subhanallah. You're walking, you're getting ready for Fajr, you're going to the upstairs, you come back downstairs. Just keep yourself busy in dhikr. Suhoor time especially, there should be dua. A lot of people, what they do in suhoor time is they just fill it up with just meal, stuff yourself to the last moment. What you don't understand is the moments before Fajr, it's a very, very good time to make dua. So that should be a time for dua. Fajr comes, a lot of people are probably going to be tired. Most people are probably going to try and stay awake throughout the night. If they can't stay throughout the night, then you're probably still tired at Fajr time. Okay, do your tasbihat in the morning. Okay, do the morning and evening dhikrs of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. There are a number of things that you can read. Hisnul Muslim is a book available for free. Okay, Hisnul Muslim is also available on the internet for free download. All you need to do is just find the du'as that you can cope with. Different people again have different staminas. If you just got 1 minute to do or 2-3 minutes, then 2-3 minutes of it. If you can do 10 minutes, that is brilliant. Okay. Now there are a number of du'as. Hisnul Muslim. Okay. Hisnul, Hisnul and Muslim. It's a very short, concise sort of book. And in there you can find a lot of the du'as that the Prophet ﷺ used to say in the mornings and in the evenings. This will give you a lot of protection. It will start your day off by getting closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. Of course, you've done your Fajr. Fajr is the main way of getting close to Allah Azza wa Jal. And then you do your Hisnul Muslim, you say, or you do your du'as, morning and evening du'as. Okay, whatever you're going to put inside there, find a number of du'as. Okay, if I get time today, I'll tell you a number of du'as that you can do. So you say the du'as. Then what you want to do is, let's say some people might, after the du'as, after a little while, they might go to sleep. So you're waking up somewhere, let's say, let me put a big 8 o'clock here, something, you're at work or you're going to work or something, or you're going to college, university, whatever it is. Okay? Now, this moment here is a very important moment when you're traveling. You've got a lot of things that you can do. You can actually read quite a bit of anything you want to read or do or dhikr. There's a lot of noor and barakah that you can get. And people every single day, they waste it. It just takes an effort to put oneself in a habit. If you've got nothing else to do, if you know the last juz or part of the last juz, just repeat that. That's an immense amount of reward. You're getting, outside Ramadan, for every letter of the Quran, you're getting 30 rewards. So every letter of the Quran, sorry, you get 10 rewards. So for Alif Lam Mim, you're getting 30. So Alif, you get 10. Lam, you get 10. Mim, you get 10. So that's 30. For Alhamdu, you're getting 50 rewards. Because Alif, Lam, Ha, Mim, Dal. In Ramadan, is times by 70. So Alif, Lam, Mim becomes 210. Okay? 30 times. Sorry, no, it's more than that, right?
350.
Sorry?
350.
What did I say? It's not 200, it's not 210, it's 2,100, right? 2,100 I'm getting for Alif, Lam, Mim. Because 30 is going to be times by 70. When I say Alhamdu, which is 50 times 70, my head's not working, 3,500 I think it is. Right? You get that much reward just for saying Alhamdu. Imagine the difference between 50 and 3,500. Even if you've got nothing else to say, just repeat Surah Fatiha on the way when you're walking or doing whatever it is. You got immense. That's just one word I told you, 3,500 reward. Can you imagine how much reward there is in Ramadan to get? So they should be busy when you're going to work. Now you're at work, you're at a place. All you need to do is keep your tongue busy and moist with the dhikr of Allah. Now the best one is, again, is La ilaha illallah. You can keep your mouth closed, okay, because you don't want, sometimes you're at work, you don't want everyone to think that you're going to be crazy. If you like sitting there and going, whoa, I don't want to be next to that guy, right? So the best one is La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah, close your lips. You can say La ilaha illallah inside. Nobody knows you're saying it. You're getting reward. Nobody thinks you're mad. And you just carry on doing your dhikr throughout the day. Now, let's say, for example, La ilaha illallah, you're losing your focus and other people, you're not going to be able to do your work. Some people are like that, no problem. So what you do is you put on, if you can, put on some tilawa, some recitation in the background, because to listen to recitation is also reward. There's two sunnahs. One is to read the Quran, one is to listen to the Quran. So fill that up with that you listen to it. Now, some people can't listen to tilawa and do work. There are people, because the people's minds are different. So in that instance, what you do is you can put some nasheed, something else, some dhikr. Sometimes you can find these dhikr on YouTube and so on. Just put that in the background, just saying la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, whatever it is on the background, and it makes you then carry on just working. Just put it on low volume, at least it's there in your subconscious mind that you're hearing it. Because the good thing about it is, when you would have finished with all those dhikrs that you heard, tilawah that you heard, and you move away from your office, and you're moving away, and you're going off on a break, you know what happens? Your mind plays it back to you. That's the beautiful thing. The mind plays it back to you, because whatever you heard, it'll play it back to you, and that's it. It'll give you a reminder to do dhikr. Okay, let's say the whole working day went with whatever you could do. As soon as you're hitting the road back, or you're hitting the road back from university, college, school, whatever it is, then on the way back again, just do some dhikr, some tilawah. Like I said to you earlier on, you mix it. One dua, some part of the Quran, do some dhikr, do some salawat in the Prophet ﷺ, sending salutation to the Prophet ﷺ. Then again, seeking forgiveness. Then again, saying how wonderful Allah is. Just carry on repeating different things. If you know the Quran off by heart, subhanallah, you can just carry on reciting the Quran off by heart. You come home, right? Relax, rest, whatever it is. What you want to do is you want to have a timetable ready. Of course, people need to look at their phones and do some other stuff. I'm telling you, have time for it. That's fine. Have a set time for it, that between this time to that time, this is my social time, my other time. Beyond that, I want to get on with my, with my ibadah. Now, the thing is, if you want to get a rest at that time, after work, no problem. Go to sleep for a little while, wake up fresh, because then you can, this is wake up for Asr, okay? Don't sleep after Asr, but wake up for Asr. And then once you've done your Asr, get into some dua, because dua before Maghrib, before the iftar, is a time Allah is ready to accept whatever we're going to say. And again, if you're stuck for what kind of dua I'm going to make, I don't know, man. I just say 2 minutes of dua. I don't know what else to say. Look, in dua, you can just talk to Allah, like you would talk to a friend. Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam did this in Surah Nuh, Surah number 71. He talked to Allah like I would talk, or you would talk to a friend. Oh Allah, they did this. Then I told them to do this. And then they said to me, they put their clothes in front of their face. They put their fingers in their ears. And I said to them, why don't you seek forgiveness? Allah will give you the reins back again. And then they mocked me, or they said this. And I said to them, look at the sun. Allah has given you, all this stuff that he's saying. It's normal stuff that me and you would say to a friend. So you go to the next page of the Quran. It says, oh Allah, I've called them, but they've told their children not to let go of those idols. Wad, Su'a, Yaghouth, Ya'uq, Nasra. He took the names of the 5 idols in his dua to Allah. Why? Because he's complaining to Allah that this is what happened. They said this, and I said this to them, and they said this. And just talk to Allah. Just say, oh Allah, this is what happened in my life. Then you did this, and then I did this. Then I went over there, then my friend said this, and so said this, and so. Just talk to Allah, because the whole point of dua is connecting the heart to Allah. So as long as you're feeling that you're talking to Allah Azza wa Jal, don't go a bit potty, okay? Don't think that, yeah, I've had a good conversation with my God. My God tell me to do this, right? Don't go try to think that you've got a mission on planet Earth, right? But it's nice feeling to make the dua. Very short summary of how you can make the dua even better is a quick way of this. Look, this is a very quick way. Dua for yourself, dua for your parents, dua for your relatives, make dua for the people around you, let's say the local people around you, the neighbors on. Just go a bit wider. Dua for the ummah, right? Dua for this dunya, dua for the future, immediate future in the world, dua for your progeny that's going to come after you, dua for the akhirah. Now in akhirah you start one by one. Dua for Allah to make maut and death easy, for make qabr and the life of the grave easy, to make the day of judgment easy, to make account easy, to make, to save you from hellfire, to make you go to Jannah, and then to repeat that for whoever else you want. You know what? That's like a good 10, 15, 20 minutes of a dua you can easily do. And you can repeat it again and again as often as you want, because you have now engaged in talking to Allah Azza wa Jal. Iftar time comes, you have your iftar. Make sure that it's not too heavy, because the heavier you get, the less ibadah you'll want to do. Taraweeh comes after that. Okay, get ready for Taraweeh, join the Taraweeh. Once you finish your Taraweeh, okay, you need a rest. Okay, you need a rest. Fine, take a little rest. Either you're going to go to sleep then, or you're not going to go to sleep. If you're going to sleep, then go sleep straight away. It's the best thing. And then, you wake up. Some people, have heavy sleep. Once they go to sleep, they're not going to wake up. So just make sure that you drink enough, because I think the key thing is to make sure that there's enough drink that goes in, fluids go into the body, because you might not actually get up and drink again. But it's really good to wake up for suhoor, because the Prophet ﷺ said that there's going to be barakah. In a person gets a lot of barakah at the time of suhoor. Now, if you stay awake, if you can stay awake, it's even better. The nights are short. If you can manage your sleep with after Fajr till the morning, and then after work for a couple of hours, and that's how you manage your sleep, you're going to get the best of the blessings of Ramadan, because the night time is full of all, with a lot of reward. So, Qiyamul Layl, Tahajjud, 8 rakats, do that some point in the night. Again, if you're feeling tired, there are a number of things you can do if you want to keep yourself awake. Hello? Are you there? Number of things you can do, which is to go to the bathroom, turn the tap on, take water and wash your face. Don't dry it with the towel. You then come all the way up to your door. You open your door, front door or the back door, and you allow the natural air in the night to dry your face. You, my friend, are awake. Do you understand? That's what you do. It's easy. You go back in every time you feel a bit tired. If you want to keep yourself awake, then you've got to keep yourself moving. If you sit in one place and you do loads of tilawah, whatever, you'll drop off. So you build up tilawah again. You mix it. Do your qiyam. Do some rakats, and every time you feel tired again, wash your face. Go up to the door, let the natural wind come, hit your face, and let it dry out. You'll feel. Take some fresh air. Take a fresh air. Go. If you it's going to be summertime anyway. If you can just pop out for even 2-3 minutes, or pop your head out, right, out the window or something for 2-3 minutes. Just make sure that some bat doesn't just crawl on your face or something. But if you can just pop your head out for 2-3 minutes and let the fresh air wake you up, it will wake you up, right? Now, throughout the night, if you can switch your ibadah, and you can do that, the main thing is to get back into dua at time of suhoor. Have your suhoor, that's fine. Get back into dua again, do your fajr, and after fajr again, you're back to the cycle once again. Now the 30 days needs to be focused on more and more of this ibadah as Ramadan is coming up. Okay, so for example, when it comes to the middle 10 days, we should be better than our first 10 days. Or if nothing else, we're the same. Don't drop. The last 10 days, we need the most stamina. If you can get into i'tikaf, brilliant. Sisters can take a corner of the house, corner of your room, and you can just sit there and you can do your i'tikaf there. Brothers, of course, you can come to the masjid and you can do i'tikaf. A wonderful place to come. And again, if you come with the right intention, to the right, it's going to bring so much food to the masjid, you're going to think, man, are you guys camping out for 6 months or something, right? It's not about that, it's about ibadah. If you can find the right place, the right group of people, i'tikaf is a wonderful thing. Then it's a case, if you haven't been waking up for the nights of Ramadan, the best is now then 21st target it, 23rd target, 25th, 27th, 29th to get Laylatul Qadr. Even better, the Prophet ﷺ has said 22nd, 24th, 26th, 28th, 30th. They could also be Laylatul Qadr. Now, the whole thing is now is going to build your stamina up so that on Laylatul Qadr or in the last 10 nights, because we don't know which one it is, that day I want to make sure I want to be guaranteed that I'm doing some ibadah there. To make it even more fun, what you do is to make sure guaranteed jackpot for Laylatul Qadr is that you do some actions every single night guaranteed, and you can do it after Maghrib, because Laylatul Qadr officially begins after Maghrib all the way till Fajr. So if you say to yourself that I've got £100 for donation or something, right? I'm going to donate £10 a night for the last 10 nights. You've got £200, it's £20 a night. If it's £500, it's £50 a night. Whatever amount it is, I'm going to now spread that out. Spread that out so that I can give it every single night, guaranteed you've hit the jackpot. The jackpot is what? It's 83 years and 4 months of ibadah. It's 1,000 months, which is 83 years and 4 months. Whatever you did on that night is times by that. And that's going to be our way of trying to get through to the best part of Ramadan, to be really, to be alert, to have a lot of stamina, to do all of these things repeatedly again and again, to cut down on all the things that distract us. And then once Ramadan has finished, we will be a lot better as Muslims, inshallah. We'll have a lot of taqwa. It should last us for the full year. That's how much we want to prepare ourselves that once Ramadan is gone, we want to be, we want to build on this whole thing for the next Ramadan. So don't let go of your, I'm not asking you to do hours and hours of it outside Ramadan, but at least do a good portion of it outside Ramadan. Keep the thing up every single day. Inshallah, I think we'll be fine. Throughout, how many more minutes we've got till Salah? Got about 4. Any questions you guys have got? Yeah.
Is Taraweeh compulsory?
Taraweeh is a sunnah mu'akkada of the Prophet ﷺ. Isha is compulsory. Okay? Maghrib is compulsory. All the 5 daily prayers are compulsory. Some people make Taraweeh more important than the other prayers, which is wrong. Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, they all are compulsory. But Taraweeh is a sunnah mu'akkada, which means it's an emphasized sunnah. Now, if I understand some people it's really late, okay, because they've got work in the morning. So you've got to now ask yourself, what's the best thing you can do? You can do, if you can't join the masjid, and if it's too much to join the masjid for Taraweeh, you can do your own Taraweeh with the jama'ah. As long as you do it in a jama'ah inside the house, you can make somebody an imam, make one of the boys, one of the men, whatever imam, and you can do your own 20 rakats if that's a way of making it a bit lighter for yourself. Because I understand, Isha is going to be what? About near 11 o'clock, nearly, quarter to 11 or something, 10:30, 11 o'clock. By the time Taraweeh finishes, it's 12:30, 1 o'clock. Now some people really need their rest, they've been working all day. If that is the case, you've got other options. Just make sure that your 5 fard prayers are done. You should try and do them with jama'ah or with a congregational prayer. Try and come to the masjid. And if anything is sort of lacking, then just make sure that you do it yourself, or you do it with a jama'ah at home or something, so your Taraweeh is done. Okay? Any other questions? Yes?
Is it true that if you die in Ramadan, you go to Jannah?
Inshallah, yes. If you die in Ramadan, you go to Jannah as long as you die naturally. Okay? Any other question?
Anything about particular drinks to help you cope with the summer fastings?
I think as long as the right type of fluids are taken, water is the best thing. Right? Water is the best thing. We've got. Where's the doctor gone? Yeah. What's the best fluids, man? Go on. Water. Thank you. I'm a doctor as well.
What about coconut yogurts?
Coconut, yogurt, see these things cool you down as well, give refresh you, that's good. Some parts of some sugary things should also go in there, so that we've got the whole I think it's 19 hours of fasting, whatever it is, it's fine. Keep keep yourself in places where you're cool, where you're, where you're not over, so, working yourself or making yourself dehydrated. Just keep it normal, alhamdulillah, inshallah. As long as you're doing all the dhikr, the focus is over here. Don't focus on, as long as you've eaten, drunk properly, especially drinking, if you've got enough fluids in your body, you're fine. Because there's enough fat in our bodies to be eaten into, right? So, yeah, as long as the water's there, that's fine. The rest of it will be fine, inshallah. Yes.
Two questions. First one, time between Suhoor and Fajr, is that a few minutes or can you, I don't know how...
Okay, yeah, that's a good thing. End of fasting is the beginning of Fajr. So when your local masjid says this is the beginning of Fajr, that's when the fasting starts and the Suhoor ends. That's the end of Suhoor. The end of Suhoor is when beginning of fasting, beginning of Fajr starts. So if sometimes on a Suhoor, on the timetable it says 3:50 Suhoor ends, and it says 4 o'clock, it says Fajr starts, yeah? Actually, if it says 4 o'clock Fajr starts, then 4 o'clock is the end of Suhoor and 4 o'clock is the beginning of Fajr.
Yeah, because sometimes tables like you saw the mosque, they have it. There's a gap.
They do a gap because they feel people are going to go over the limit.
Right.
Best thing is to stop a couple of minutes before at least, if not a few minutes before. It's good practice, but if you're a bit like me and you want to make sure that you get the full packaging, all right, especially liquids, then you take it all the way till the Fajr time starts.
Brushing your teeth.
Brushing your teeth, toothpaste during the fasting hours don't use. Okay? Use miswak during the fasting hours. But between Maghrib and Suhoor, you can brush it with as much toothpaste as you want till your teeth drop out. But please, during the fasting hours, because if you put toothpaste in, there's a residue that could go inside. And that will break your fast. Any residue that goes inside, apart from your saliva, is going to break your fast.
Just one, and zikr can include reading the Quran.
Yes,
Yeah.
reading the Quran is also is more than dhikr. It is more than dhikr, and there's a lot of reward, a lot of closeness to Allah Azza wa Jal, through this. Is that it? Yes?
During these long fast, is it okay for children not to fast? Is there a minimum age?
Look, children, when they reach the age of puberty, then it's for them to fast. But then again, the younger kids don't have to fast. Okay. But when it comes to those children as well who are teenagers, it is down to every person to decide, what is within their capacity. The thing is, they should fast. Okay, they should fast. That's the fard upon them. It's an obligation. But it's all down to it's all down to the mind really. When we were young, just fasted all day. Exam, this, that. People used to play football and all sorts and still fast. It's fine. If your mind says you can do it, you can do it. But if someone's really physically weak, something's stopping them from fasting, then they can opt out. They can make qada later on and so on. Okay. Anyway, Jazakumullah khair, guys. That's the end of the thing. I will see you. Let me just announce for you the calendar. Has anyone got a calendar?